and welcome in this new episode. And in this one we'll be surprisingly talking about Supra. There it is. Yeah, so we'll be mentioning the Supra and why is it a good chassis for drifting, in my subjective opinion of course, but since the main car is still in progress, it's still made by Gelo in his workshop, we'll be using the stock one. And speaking about this vehicle, look at it simply. It's beautiful, it's red, it's fast, it's great. Job done. See you in the next one, guys. But no, just speaking about this vehicle is simply pleasure, because just honestly I really like looking at this car. You can feel like the pure Japanese, more Western Japanese is back, you know. Everything now on the market is quite big, because not only in case of its dimensions, but also in case of weight. And this car is one of the few exceptions that, even though it has quite a powerful engine, it's not that heavy, especially comparing to its competition. Speaking about dimensions, it's just slightly, I think like 2 centimeters bigger than S15 wheelbase, and in general I think that just about it tells you a lot that this should be a good chassis, just this one single factor. The difference between this chassis and S15 is that you are sitting more closely to the rear axle than in S15, like in the middle, so probably the sensations while transitioning might be a bit different, also while going closer to the obstacle back, but I also think that sitting more in the back will help you feel what the rear of the car is actually doing. I heard some rumors that it's actually a bit harder to make faster transitions, but that's for me something to experience yet still, of course, and that's about theory. So let's jump into the car and try it in action. Try it on this lovely racetrack, and let's hope that Hubert will move in time. Let's jump in the car. Let's jump in this lovely little machine. I think I will start from the good part. Actually, surprisingly, the really good part is this PR and DM gearbox, which is really actually responsive. If you put it into this M mode, you can switch the gears by yourself and it reacts really nice, really rapidly. And I forgot to turn up the traction control, so I'll do it right away. And traction control is off after a few seconds. Sport, we are in the most sporty settings, and in those the car really wants to hook. Once you don't go too far with the throttle, this car just wants to grip. It's really surprising how much grip it can squeeze out of those stock tires, because the car is bone stock, nothing is changed. So it's a cold day and it's still off. Just now the back goes away. It's really predictable, even if the front or in the back. It's remarkable how much cheese you can actually pull in a corner. Like, car wants to simply hook. Also, it has this active differential which can close, and it tends to close more often when you are in sport mode. And it'll definitely help you while you go on to go fast in case of a time, and if you want to go sideways, because canker feel if you really put a bit more throttle into it, and immediately you go sideways, you know, no problem. Oh, actually, there was a slight problem. Yeah, and speaking about this diff, it's good and it's bad, to be honest, at the same time, because as it's good because it can lock and unlock, so it's really comfortable during the daily using of this car, daily driving, and then on the track it can close and let you have fun simply with it. But once you release the throttle, car thinks that you are in trouble and it unlocks the diff again. This tends to to feel from the inside that the car simply changed its grip. It starts to be a bit unpredictable in a way. So it's a good and a bad thing. So once your own throttle is good, you release the throttle and the car even wants to switch the position. It's weird because you feel that the rear is loose and suddenly it grips up a lot again. Steering rack. As much as it's comfortable in the daily driving on a track, it's really short ratio one. You just do one turn and you're on lock. One turn. For drifting, it makes you feel that the car is really agile, really nervous actually, because you want to just do a little correction and the car moves really a lot. Especially it's an electrically supported steering rack, so you don't have a lot of feedback from the front wheels, and this makes it feels even worse. Also, the car doesn't have a lot of steering angle. Again, as a stock machine, for drifting, it could be slightly better. Let's switch it into the normal mode, turn the traction control on, go to the streets, head to Gelo, so I can tell you a bit more about how it looks like in our Pro cars. But that's in a second. And here we are at Gelo's place, G-Garage workshop, to tell you a bit more about what we changed in the Supra and why we actually did it. Speaking about what we did a few hours ago. But before we start, let me give you a bit of an update, because the car quite literally changed its colors. It's our shell already painted, and that means that we are getting really close to final assembly and first test. Because as you can see in the back, we have a coilovers from field suspension. We got Wisefab arms and hubs. Also we got the new polyurethanes from Strong Flex, which are actually one of the first set made for this car for a stock rear subframe, just modified to fit Winter's quick change differential. The rear suspension have a really nice adjustment, and there is a lot of ways to decrease and increase the grip in the back, so that's a really nice thing. Also the radiator has its place at the back, is cut finally, so we can already see where will be our final, let's say, crash zone. Here will go bash bar to prevent our radiator for smashing into any objects, and the rear simply of the car not get badly damaged if I will make some error. But no errors at all in this car. This car will be no error car. And what else? As you can see, the link ECU is already fit into this chassis. It's not connected to anything, but guys already putting it in its place to see where they have the space to maneuver. Also, we got 2 extra pedals for the first time properly from the taken from the fresh Supra. And we'll see what's gonna be a final outcome. Also, of course, we got the front suspension from Wisefab with field shock absorbers, and also the very important thing which Gelo have changed is that the hubs, I didn't mention before, you probably already know, because if you notice the Valino rims were already fitted on the previous one. It means that the bolt pattern is changed from the 512 which was in the Supra, but here is actually the hub from E90, so it has 5x120, but doesn't matter because now it's proper Japan 5x114.3. So it means that Supra is more Japanese than it was ever before. That's the first really proper, I think, Japanese spec. And I think it should be like that from the factory, so I'm really thinking right now to change to these hubs in my stock Supra also, so I can fit those lovely rims and tires, and it will be definitely a good blast then. But for now, let's focus on solutions in this vehicle. Also, we got, of course, like in a stock one, the front mounted steering rack helps with the preventing with the steering lock when going with the full angle, and also the steering rack is from E90 BMW, but not M1, because this one has a longer ratio and the M1 has a shorter one. What else I can tell you? There is a fire extinguisher system already fitted on board in this car, and the side panels are removed because they are now copied, and there will be one huge piece with the fender flares. So if any damage, it will be practical simply to replace. Speaking about the good things with this chassis, coming back to our main topic of today's video, why this car is actually good for drifting. Let's start from the engine bay. So, as you can see, the strut towers are right here, and if we will take my professional measure device, which is Hula, Aloha, whatever, here we got 1, 2 and a bit Hula Aloha. No, it's actually exactly 2 Hula Aloha, and in the S15 we got exactly 1 Hula Aloha from fire wall to the start of the Yes, somehow, some a bit, just to give you a hint, what is the difference in distance between strut tower and firewall. It is 1 Hula Aloha in S15 and 2 Hula Alohas in the Supra. So, overall, everything seems very positive about this chassis. The only thing which will be new that I need to be aware and get used to is simply different size of the car and the placement of the driver, because as you can see here, there are the rear axle, the front axle, and definitely if this is the middle of the car, in case of a wheel wise, the driver sits more to the back when compared to S15. Once you have the front rims here and the rear here, the driver sits pretty much in the middle. This will be definitely fillable during the transitions and getting into the high angles, but I honestly believe that after a few practice runs we'll get a hang of it. At least, probably, I hope I'm gonna get a hang of it. I'm positive about it, so I hope I will be so positive also after the first test. But fingers crossed, it's sooner than later gonna happen, and we will be able to tell you a bit more. But for today, for tonight, that's it. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy, and see you in the next one. Take care, guys.